Hi, my name is Yoel Silver, and you are literally my best friend. So I want to share something with you today since you are my best friend. You might not know this about me, but I actually grew up in Canada, Montreal to be specific. So yes, I do speak French, but that's not the point. The point is that lately, when I've been seeing all my therapists, they've all been trying to uncover what makes me the way that I am today. So I don't really feel comfortable talking about it with my therapists, but since you are my best friend, I do feel comfortable talking about it with you. So, um, uh, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. So during the late 1990s and early 2000s, the Canadian government would play public service announcements aimed towards kids to teach them about things in between shows and in between commercials. And I would be lying to you if I told you that these public service announcements didn't turn me to be the man that I am today.
About taking drugs?
I don't know. Well, I never really thought about it.
Think hard. The first hit's free, but you find me when you need more.
And if you were growing up in Canada during the exact same time, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you didn't grow up in Canada, let's say you grew up in America, let me explain to you exactly what was going on, okay? So Canada is this magical place where people just seem happier and seem less stressed because they don't gotta worry about things because the government seems like it actually has your back. Whether it does or not is a debate for another day, but it feels nice knowing that, somebody above you has your back, so everybody's a lot more lax. Canada is so lax to the point that if, let's say, you have children, you don't even have to raise them because, why should you have to raise your children? So just in case you don't want to raise your children, the Canadian government will do it for you. And you might be wondering, well, how's the Canadian government going to raise somebody else's children? Well, easy, okay? So, they would play these commercials, these public service announcements in between shows, and these public service announcements would teach us things that we shouldn't be doing. And these were absolutely... I have no words for it. You know what I actually want to do? I want to sue the Canadian government. Can we sue the Canadian government? Because I think I have grounds to sue the Canadian government because these commercials messed up my whole life. Every time I'm about to do something wrong, one of these PSA pops in my head because I am reminded of what I shouldn't be doing because of these commercials, okay? So, I really want to share this with you. And if you're American, then trust me, this video will so be worth it because these commercials are out of this world. So you're going to be seeing them for the first time. But if you're Canadian, then this episode is like a healing process for you because we need to go through this together. Listen, I'll hold your hand through this whole process because we need to heal. And in order to heal, we have to face our demons. And these commercials are those demons. So we're going to get through this together, all right? Let's start off slowly. Let's start off with this one right here, titled, Don't You Put It in Your Mouth.
Why do you think your mommy or daddy are always telling you, don't put that in your mouth? Let's find out.
Hi, kids.
Why are we on television anyway?
We're here to tell a little story about why you shouldn't put things into your mouth when you don't know what they are, and why you should never take anything a stranger tries to give you.
Why not?
Because if you ate somebody else's medicine, some bad food, or some poison, you could get very sick.
Ugh, I don't want to be sick.
And that's why before you eat anything, you should always ask someone you love if it's okay.
Okay.
Who? Grown men in suits got together in a meeting and made choices and decided that these two blue characters are going to be the ones to inform children to not take candy from a stranger because that's obviously what don't put it in your mouth means. But then these same men that got in suits and went to a place to make choices in meetings to tell children how to not take candy from a stranger also decided that it just wasn't enough that these blue characters should just say that. They should also break into song.
If you see something that you want to eat, before you do anything, remember this song.
Don't you put it in your mouth. Don't you put it in your mouth.
Don't you stuff it in your face.
Don't stuff it in your face.
Though it might look good to eat.
Though it might look good to eat.
And it might look good to taste.
And it might look good to taste.
You could get sick.
Ick.
Real quick.
Ick.
Real sick.
Real ick. Don't you put it in your mouth. Till you ask someone you love.
That's right, sis.
If it's okay to eat.
If it's okay to eat.
Like a muffin or a beet.
Like a muffin or a beet.
If you don't know just what it is, you boys and girls. Don't put it in your mouth. Hey, what am I doing? I don't even like beets.
Then don't put it in your mouth. Bye-bye, everyone.
Remember, boys and girls, never take anything from a stranger, and don't put things in your mouth when you don't know what they are. If you eat somebody else's medicine, or some bad food, or some poison, you could get very sick. Yeah. Always ask someone you love before you put anything in your mouth.
Like a muffin or a beet, like, bro, you, bro. You, dude. You don't understand, bro. This commercial used to come on all the time, dude. And who are all these characters, man? Like, you could have just stuck with the two blue characters. You had to get the whole orchestra. Do any one of them has a backstory? Like, what the is going on? And then this line that looks like it's on its last limb on life support on that Canadian healthcare system is then giving me a speech about what I shouldn't be putting in my mouth. Go yourself, dude. Imagine actually being like a bad guy that's, poisoning the candy to then give to the children so that they could, fall asleep in the back of his car. Like, as you're doing that to go do your daily runs of, poisoning children, you then see this commercial and you just go, oh no, the Canadian government is ruining my business. I must have seen that commercial growing up at least 500 times. It still haunts me to this day. Whenever I go on a walk around my neighborhood and I see a very shiny rock on the floor that just looks scrumptious, as soon as I'm about to pick it up, I remember this blue character telling me, don't put it in your mouth. The next public service announcement used to be actually the most annoying, the most putrid. I'm actually getting physically mad remembering it right now. Because I remember actually imagining myself inflicting actual physical pain to the inanimate object in the commercial. So if you're Canadian, if you remember this TV, then this is your warning because you might be getting angry yourself right now. But if you're American, then get ready to meet the most wise guy TV of all time.
Hey, what you watching? Me? I'm just a TV. I mean, I'm not even human. You've got the remote control. You can change channels if you don't like what you're watching. You can flick me on and off, and on and off, and whoa, I'm getting dizzy. You see, you're smarter than me. You get to choose from all kinds of neat stuff. Funny shows, nature shows, shows about people all over the world. Ouch! In real life, that would hurt. You get to learn how to make stuff, how to draw stuff. Me, I don't get to do any of this stuff. I'm just the TV that plays it for you. Yep, I sure wish I was as smart as you. Did somebody get that cat off my head? Look at it this way. You can talk to your best friends, your mom or dad, about all the stuff you see on TV. And besides, you have choices. You've got books and sports, and you can go outside and play. Where is outside, anyway? I'm just the TV. You're the smart one. Well, so long. See you next time.
I remember just wanting to inflict pain on that TV. Now, I don't know if it was because he was trying my existence that made me so angry, or was it because no matter how many times you watch that commercial, it would seem to only get longer and longer. And it almost felt like the people at the TV stations were messing with us to just keep us away from watching our shows. I was a little kid. I didn't care what this TV had to say. I just wanted it gone. It would make me so angry. Like, I would remember turning off the TV as soon as the commercial would come on, thinking I one-upped this TV, and then turning the TV back on, hoping that I skipped it. Eventually, I got so good at that I would count the seconds in my head. I really hated that commercial. Oh my God. If you're Canadian and you used to get just as mad at that TV as I got mad at that TV, can you please leave a comment to let me know that there's not something wrong with me right now? The next public service announcement was also super annoying because it was just bad, bro. Like, it was so bad. Because, like, somebody at the Canadian government felt that it was important to make a commercial to teach kids that their limbs, their arms and their legs will never grow back if they get detached. So this commercial made me think that when I get older, me losing my limbs is something that's going to be a normal occurrence, and I should always be ready and always be prepared so that I don't lose them. It made me think that, like, maybe one day it's super normal to just fall into a lawnmower and lose your arm. It made me think that, like, getting your foot stuck in a pool filter is super normal. It made me think that people are always behind boats when the engine is on and they just get their arms ripped off. Like, that's what this commercial made me think. But if you were to actually watch this commercial, then it's not as... Just watch it.
I am Astar, a robot from Planet Danger. I can put my arm back on. You can't. So play safe.
Astar from the Planet Danger, dude. And he can fly, dude. He can put his limbs back on. You can't, so play safe, children. Somebody at the Canadian government worked on that, dude. They probably thought that it was so cool because it looks like a video game. And this is something that kids will resonate with. You know, Astar, the robot from Planet Danger. The only thing that this commercial made me do is to make sure that that commercial doesn't come and haunt me later in life. If I ever lose my limbs, then I won't be able to live with myself because that means that that commercial served its purpose. And I don't want the commercial to serve its purpose because I watched the commercial hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times growing up that I had it up to here with this commercial. I started making this video only for fun, but I'm actually having a personal connection with this video now. So every video that I showed you in this video is 100% real. They used to actually play on TV, and I'm talking about hundreds of times. Like, I've watched every one of those too many times to count. They're engraved in my mind, but none of them take the cake like this one that I'm about to show you next. But before I show you that video, I have to paint the image for you, okay? So imagine it's 2003. You're watching SpongeBob during dinner time, in front of the TV, on the couch in the living room, because your parents do whatever you tell them to do because Canadian parents are pushovers. And then the commercials come on. And it's a commercial for a toy, then it's a commercial for McDonald's, then it's a commercial for a car company, and then this commercial plays.
It's nighttime, in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
That looked really real, but you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's good to think about what you're watching on TV and ask questions, kind of like you just did. A message from Concerned Children's Advertisers.
The North American house hippo, huh? You're probably watching that commercial as an adult going, well, that was pretty dumb, bro. Like, obviously there's no North American house hippo. Like, you're pretty stupid. You're pretty dumb. Like, no duh. Like, no duh. When you watch it as an adult, it doesn't make any sense. But if you're 9 years old, dude, if you're 9 years old and that commercial comes on during SpongeBob, and there's an adult right next to you, and you're filled with questions because you literally just saw a hippo eating out of a peanut butter can, right? And you turn to this adult and you say, hey, mister, is it true that there's no North American hippo? And then if this adult decides that it's okay to joke with you right now, and this is a perfect moment to completely mess up your life, he could respond with, actually, the North American house hippo is real, and I see him all the time. This adult just sends you to the cuckoo house. Sends you to the madhouse. The adult just ruined your life because now you're not going to trust anybody ever again when you become old enough and you're going to be sitting in that cafeteria during 7th grade, and it's just gonna hit you to go, wait a minute. There's no such thing as a North American house hippo. But it's too late because your trust issues are already there and they're never gonna go away. Thanks a lot, Canadian government. Thank you so much. So if you always wondered why Canadians are the way that they are, I hope this showed you a better perspective because that's what we grew up with. Those types of commercial playing all the time. And those weren't even all of them. There were so many of them. And if you are Canadian, then I hope that you're healed now and you can finally move on with your life and finally become the proper adults that we're all supposed to become. And before I go, the Canadian government did pay me to give you this last service announcement. Being Canadian sure is awesome. Oh, look at that. Is that Mr. Moose? Why, hello, Mr. Moose. How are ya? Oh, you know, not much, man. Just doing moose things, you know. Not really much you can do as a moose, honestly. Just being a moose. Oh, all right. Last time I saw you, you were expecting. How are the kids, man? Oh, you know, man, I don't know too much about the kids, cause you know, I'm a moose and all, but honestly, man, yeah, kids are good, I guess. What do you mean, you guess? You don't spend time with your kids, man? Oh no, it's not that. It's just when you're a moose, you know, it's a hard life out there, and we don't really raise our children, and you know, we don't really have to because we're Canadian moose. So the government will just raise my kids for me? Oh man, you're gonna be one of those passive-aggressive parents? No, you shouldn't be doing that. I know you're a moose and all, but you should still be in your children's life, you know? Hey man! Hey man, I don't appreciate the tone that you're using right now to express your feelings about me trying to raise my children, man. Like what? Oh man, I'm not telling you how to raise your children and all. Don't get me wrong. I just think that as a father, you should be raising your children, man. I mean, you had the children, you should raise them. Hey man, it ain't easy out here, and we are Canadian moose, so you know, the Canadian government and the PSAs can just take care of them anyway. Yeah, the Canadian government could take care of them, but I feel like you still kind of need to be in their life. You can't just be relying on the Canadian government all the time. Hey man, I really don't appreciate what why are you coming at me like this, man? You better watch your tone before I become an angry moose. Yeah, whoa, man. There's no need for all that hostility, man. Like, remember, we're Canadians and we watched a bunch of TSAs growing up about how we shouldn't use violence to solve our problems. I just think that you should raise your children. Well, man, you know what? If you put it that way, since I am a Canadian moose and I kind of don't want to use violence, maybe you're right, man. Maybe I am going to raise my children. I'm gonna call them right now. Thank you, man. Remember, children, you're probably old enough to have your own children now. So raise them. Make sure the TV doesn't raise them.